Alright, cool. If you tuned in, if you tapped in with us, man, let me know if the audio is better. Um, Appreciate y'all for letting me know. You know, this is why we go live this week. Make sure stuff is working, stuff is doing what it's supposed to do, and not acting crazy and wonky and junk. You know what I mean? So, let me see. Going here. Yeah. So if you tapped in, let me know. Bet. Big old bet. This is why I have people watching to let me know what's going on, man. So thank you so much. So back to what I was saying. I was really saying that, like, man, like, it's, what was I saying? Oh, so number one is consistency. You have to be consistent. If you are not consistent, I'm taking the headphones off. I'm not really listening to anything. If you're not consistent, then I'm not saying you won't see results, but it's very, very unlikely that you will. It's a necessity, right? It's a necessity in order to see the results in the way that most people want to. People are like, oh, I'm supposed to beat once a week for 3 weeks and I ain't seen nothing. Bro, it's not an overnight thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think too often producers see the pomp and circumstance, and they want to get it super fast, and they want that, like, we're in such a now generation. And it's like, man, like, it takes time. It takes work. It takes, like, you have to put in the work. So number one is definitely consistency. Consistency is key. Make sure that your stuff is consistent, like everything across the board. Like, I think about when I post a beat on YouTube. Now, I don't get crazy sales. Like, I do not claim to get the biggest sales, but I do get sales. I may not get them crazily all the time, but I'm getting sales. And one thing that I've seen is that consistency is key, both in posting and putting out content, but also in the content quality as well. You got to make sure your content is quality and consistent in the image world, in the brand. Make sure that your brand is the way that you want your brand to be in every area. It has to be. Like, there can't be one day you post a video and the video's like, it got videos in the background going crazy with crazy effects, and it's super dope. It's a super dope video. Then the next day you post a video with a picture. There's nothing wrong with posting a video for the picture, and there's nothing wrong with posting a video for the effect with the effects. However, if you are not able to post both at the same time and be consistent with the posting, then you might want to rethink how you're delivering, because people want consistency. They want to know what they're getting. I think it was, who was it? Ant Chamberlain dropped the dope gem on Producer Brown, and he said hopefully we can get Ant on an interview soon. But man, like, it was super dope because he was like, man, like, it was consistent. It was when I picked an artist that wasn't popping yet, vidIQ. He went to vidIQ. They be dropping gems, man, and they just be giving y'all the sauce, and y'all don't be using it. Use the sauce. It works. I promise, it works. As long as your beats are quality. And I'm gonna be all the way real with you. There'll be some whack beats out there, and I be hearing them. It'll be a bunch of whack beats. Truth, straight facts. But, like, it's like, even when your beats are whack, people still be selling beats with whack beats. Why? Because they're consistent. They are putting a consistent content out there. They're also putting out a consistent brand. So a lot of producers don't want to brand themselves. They're like, oh, I just want to throw them out there and I just want to get money. You're not going to get it. If a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound, and nobody's around, doesn't make a sound. Gotta create your brand. You gotta be able to push it out there. People like, oh, I don't do social media, I don't do this. It's like, man, you don't gotta do social media. You just not gonna sell beats unless you're in the studio with artists. Which, where we at now? We got Corona, and nobody's really in the studio together unless you're an engineer, or you got your own studio, or you got your own client base, or your people's whatever in a small circle. nobody's really out here in the studios, and maybe they are. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Maybe, you know, people actually jumping back in the studio. But what you gonna do? How you gonna connect with them? How they gonna know who you are? Case in point. So, man, so consistency is key. There is software that you can use to get your beats ranked on YouTube, and there is promo ads. BeatStars is super dope. So BeatStars, shout out to BeatStars. They have a promo ad portion of the software of their website, and you're able to purchase ads, and it shares to their people. It shares through their platform. Here's the dope part. People look at BeatStars and they think, oh, there's only producers on there. No. Where do you think artists get their stuff? So if an artist is on the platform buying a beat, and then they like, man, let me see what else is on this site. Your beat is now on an ad, and it's pushed to that artist because it sounds like a similar sound that they're looking for. It's not just pushing out to people that just want music. It's not just pushing out to everybody. It's like, oh, well, that's not what I'm looking for. No, it's pushing out to people similar, looking for similar sounds, looking for similar stuff, man. So definitely check that out. So consistency is key, both in putting out content, the number of content, the amount of content you put out, all of that. And if you only consistent once a week, be consistent with once a week. Let your people know when you're doing stuff. It gives you more time. If you want to be consistent every day and put it out, then be consistent every day and put out every day. If you want to be consistent every other day and put out, be consistent. Whatever your consistency is, whatever you can do, you be consistent in that, and you do that as you can do it. Whew, I talk a lot. Man, like, if anybody's in here, man, and they want to tap into the Zoom, at the end, I'm gonna be having people tap into the Zoom link. I'm just making sure. I'm trying to see if anybody else is tapped in. Let me know, man. Let me know if I'm dropping some gems. I mean, if it's gems, if it's not, it's cool either way. Shout out, I'm on the competition. Hey. Yeah. So, turn up the volume. Bet. Robert Vaughn said he needs a hit. Genre doesn't matter. Period, point blank. See, like, there's people that need hits. There's people that need records. There's people that need stuff. Turn it up a little bit. Turn up my volume. So let's see if that works. Let me know if that's better. I'll even move up and talk a little louder. Yeah, so consistency is key. You definitely need your thank you for y'all, man. Facebook is cool, man. Thank you, Miss Karen. Thank you, Robert Vaughn. Thank you, Annie Nettie. No pun intended. But no, man, definitely appreciate y'all chopping it up with me. So, okay, let me get back to what I was saying. Consistency is key. It's definitely key to be consistent. It's definitely key to use the resources at hand. Use content, your content servers that give you the analytics. Robert Vaughn talks a lot on Let's Talk about data analytics. Your data and your data analytics are key to your success. Here's why. Because it gives you the exact statistics of who's watching what and what is doing what. So if a video is doing well, it tells you where this video is doing well. A lot of times it gives you the demographic, it gives you the age range, like it gives you these things, and it now allows you to see who your target audience is. It also lets you see what is trending in your niche. So like if a Rod Wave video, like I think about vidIQ. So vidIQ is a super dope extension that you can get for free, and it gives you all the things that you need. What vidIQ does is, if you're posting a video, and this is not just for producers, like, this is so dope. Like, if you're posting a video to YouTube, vidIQ is what you need to get. You can download it. and use it immediately. What it does is once you pull up a video on YouTube, it tells you the ranking of that video, and it's out of 100. So if the video is popular, then it's going to be up in the ranks. It's going to be 70, between 70 to 80, maybe 90. If it's trending and going viral at that moment, it'll definitely be in the popularity ranks. But the other thing it does is it gives you the SEO. And what the SEO does, the SEO then tells you how well this video is going to be seen or pushed out to the network that is pushed out to. So if your video is in a 30, expect it not to get pushed out as much. Whereas though if your video hits like 70, then expect it to get pushed out to the network, to the channels that you want it to reach to. The keys in that is making sure that you're hitting the keywords. Your keywords are huge, and I would encourage a bunch of people, specifically producers, because this is who we talking to on here, to research keywords. A lot of people don't research keywords. They just be putting random stuff in there, like type beats, internet, free type beats, internet money, J. Cole, Drake, and a whole bunch of keywords that don't got nothing to do with your beat. Your beat be a Juice WRLD type beat, and you putting in Drake. Bro, what? Like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you are putting out what you're putting into the content, what you want people to know that you're putting out. So if you have let's go on type beats, because this is what everybody's doing. They posting a beat on YouTube and they're trying to push it out and they're trying for people to see it. And I don't know if I told y'all. I'm pretty sure I told y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all get it. But this show is specifically for producers, but as you see, the content can be used to cross genres. So if you are a YouTuber, if you are a speaker, if you're a business in general, this is content that you can use. Please take the nuggets. All throughout these interviews and things that we'll be dropping some gems. And I promise you, like from the jump, the reason why we started this show was specifically so that you can get things that you can use. And that's what we're here for. So, like Robert Vaughn said, the producer many times has to be the quarterback. Facts. I will get to that in a minute because that is key. A lot of people don't know that. That's in the creation process before it even touches the artist's hands. You have to be the quarterback. You're the one who is leading the artist to do certain things. Without a beat, without the instrumental, without the production, what does the artist have? They just have vocals. Like, come on, like, don't get me started. So, I could literally go in so many different directions right now, but let's stay on topic. So, you have consistency. You have your extension/software, things that you need to use. The next thing is, I touched on it a little bit in the software, research. So let me say it again. Research. My people. I understand. No, this is not school. However, you must research. If you are not researching anything, then what are you doing? Like, if you're not researching, if you're not researching your network, if you're not researching your competition, if you're not researching what you're promoting, then why are you promoting it? You're not going to get anywhere. You don't know what's happening. Like, if you're looking to sell beats, you should be researching every single day. I get up, I spend my time with the Lord. I sit, I process. You know what I'm saying? I read, and I watch videos. I watch videos on production 90% of the time, and the production videos I'm watching are also about giving information. Some of the people, like this show, go back and watch the gems. Not just my show. There's so many other spots on YouTube, man. Go and watch some spots, and you will get some knowledge. But you have to do the research. They drop gems all the time. So consistency. Make sure you're consistent. Use the resources at hand and research. Research is key. The other thing is making sure that, because all of those things would be cool. The last thing that you got to do, and it should be really the first thing, but it's the last thing on my list, is make sure you got somewhere to send people. How in the world you gonna have a a beat online, and now you're telling people that, like, make it easy for people to just go, like, put a link in the description. That's it. Upload it. They make it so easy. BeatStars is free. You can post 10 beats on BeatStars for free, and then rotate them mugs out, bro. Like, I cannot speak on this stuff enough. You have resources at your fingertips to make this life easy. Just make it easy for people. Just make it easy for people, because then if you make it easy for people, click, buy, download, win. Make sure you got the key. Like Mike Trampy talks about it all the time. Make sure you got the key of your beat. Man, listen. I can go on a rampage about that. Make sure you got the keys of your beats. Like, why are you making it harder? I'm an engineer. You make it harder for me and my job when I have to go and find the key and the BPM of the beat. Make it easy for me. And if you don't know it, you figure it out your own self and then type it in the title. It's not that hard to get mixed in key. It's not that hard to put it into another software. Put your instrumental that you just bounced out into another software and then find the key. We do it all the time as engineers. Everybody nowadays has it at their fingertips because everybody's using auto-tune. And you gotta find the key of the beat. If you don't find the key of the beat, then your auto-tune is off, and that's why you get a lot of auto-tune that's whack. So maybe some people aren't using auto. Maybe some people are finding the key of the beats. Either way, that's the big, man. That's the biggest. So make it easy on people. Make sure you have somewhere for them to go to get your stuff. Be sure you're consistent. And do your research. Do your research and use your resources. What's at your fingertips? Super important. Super important, man. Super important, man. So I'm gonna drop. See if I can do this. I'm gonna drop this Zoom link in the thing. And we're gonna see if we can get some people in to ask some questions. If you don't get let in, I'm sorry. I'm not letting everybody in because people be tripping. But I might let everybody in. Who knows? You know, we never know. We'll see what happens, right? We're about to see. So if you tapped in on, I'm trying to see if it's letting me do it. It should let me do it, right? Shout out to y'all watching on Twitch. Everybody that's watching everywhere that they're watching. Certainly appreciate y'all, man. Super dope. I'm about to drop it in the chat, so just give me a second. Man. Drop some questions in the chat, man, so I could drop some questions in the chat. What y'all most excited about this show? Like, I know for me, I tell you what, I'm excited about some of these interviews. If you only knew some of the people that I have lined up, I literally got interviews set up for y'all, man. I got interviews set up for weeks on weeks. Just be ready. Let's see. Let me know if that went to the chats. Let me know if that went to the chats. I'm sure it didn't go to Facebook, however. But I have an opportunity to do that myself. Shout out to Facebook. If you're not on Twitch and you're on Facebook, or you on Facebook and you're not on YouTube or wherever you are watching this show right now, tap in, because is there an East Coast sound? Is it different from the West Coast or Southern sound? Yes. Very good question. Very good question. So, a lot of people have completely have their niche. They have their sound, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, what is a niche? A niche is it's specifically what you are providing. It's that thing that somebody is. It's that thing that somebody is going forward to. If we type in niche into definition, it says that that's definitely not what I wanted. That's not the definition I wanted. That's funny. So a niche is a interest that appeals to a small specialized section of the population. So it's specifically it's your interest. It's what that certain thing is that you do or that you are interested in or certain people are interested in. You know, we talk about our niche. My niche is production. What is my niche in production? My niche in production is specifically, I really focus on the it's like an emo melodic trap rap, but I'm very versatile. So that is also another area. You know, my niche is also providing content. You know, like I'm providing information for people. I provide a platform for people to provide information. This is literally a niche, and not a lot of people are doing it. Some people have a niche of speaking about health, and some people's niche is speaking about success and so many other things. But when you find your niche, then you push it and you really focus on your niche. So okay, so the question was, is there an East Coast sound? Is it different from the West Coast or the Southern sound? Absolutely. So the East Coast sound is I don't know, like, so the East Coast sound has changed a little bit. So there's also and you know, we're not even talking about the Midwest. You know, so there's an East Coast sound, which is really it has been for years, really some boom bap. So you get a lot of that boom bap. Very, 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 very conscious. East Coast rappers, East Coast, and if we're talking about hip hop specifically, and beats, like East Coast rappers and producers are very conscious, and they're just that okay, I'm gonna rock my head, I'm gonna not, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's what it is. However, Midwest rappers, they're a little bit more bouncy. They like to rap a little fast. You know, you got your Chicago, you got your Detroit drill rap. Like you have a lot of bounce in the records. West Coast, they've been bouncy, but they definitely more laid back. You know, they just chill. You got your E40s, you got your Snoops, like those people. Your West Coast, you know, even Game and so many other people, like they're more chill, they're more laid back, they're more relaxed. Like they just go with the flow. And then you have your E40s, you got drill. Who else do we got? And you said the South. I mean, the South, they be turned. The South be turned, man. The South. So you got, when you talk about the South, we got T.I. We got, and if we look more recent, who do we have that came out of the South? We got Young Thug. Just why? Young Thug, you know, shout out, whatever. You got like, you got Young Thug, you got, who else? What are some other Southern rappers? Atlanta really has been taking it for real, man. Atlanta has really, really, really been taking it. It's been super cool. Shout out to Focus that tried to join in. I seen you try to tap in. So here's the funny thing about Cleveland that I've seen. Okay, so Cleveland does have its own sound, and here is what Cleveland sound is. Cleveland sound is everybody else's sound. Straight like that. Like I like, that's no cap. Cleveland sound is everybody else's sound. Crazy, and it's hard for me to say it, but it's very, very true. Because if you are from if you're from Cleveland, you hear Atlanta, you hear East Coast all up and down, you hear the South in general, you hear Midwest, you know, you got your fast rappers, the people that want to bounce, you hear Detroit, you hear West Coast, like you hear so many different lanes. Like it's like everybody from everywhere else, Cleveland tries to take it. There are some, and this is just from what I've heard, this is just from the artists that I've worked with and heard, so I do not claim to be the end-all, be-all of the knowledge of Cleveland rap. I've only been here for 4 years. However, And maybe somebody wants to jump on. You know, I know I got some people watching that have been in Cleveland their entire life. But maybe you want to jump on and you want to tell me and prove me wrong. Please do. Please prove me wrong, because I want people to have the truth. It's just from what I know about Cleveland, it's definitely not its own sound. I have not heard a Cleveland's own sound yet. So yeah, prove me wrong, please. Please prove me wrong. So yeah, shout out to, but I mean, don't get me wrong, like I've definitely met some dope artists, and they're dope in their own way. They're able to take that sound and take it to the next level. So it's definitely, and this is just now, you know, this is just now, you know, I've definitely heard, but it's just like, that's what it is. Somebody said, has gangster rap played out? No. I know some gangster rappers. I've heard some gangster rappers. I've heard like people come in and record with me all the time, and there's different variations, and I think that it's not played out. I just think it has taken a turn in its validity. I don't think it's valid. I don't think it's true. I don't think there's any truth to the music anymore, you know, and that's in everything. But that's a whole nother day. We could talk about that. Maybe I'll get Murder on Murder Beat. I'll try to get Murder Beats on the show, and he let him talk about it, because, you know, or we let Southside get on here and talk about it, or, you know, somebody, you know, maybe we get Zaytoven and let him talk about all the rappers he's worked with, and, you know, but shout out to all of y'all. You know, shout out to all those people I just named. But no, I don't feel like it's played out. I do feel like it has taken a turn. I do feel like it has not been the best. And we got somebody in the waiting room. Let's see what it's hitting for. Fo. Who we got in here? We got Isaiah. Shout out to Zay 2 times. Hold on, brother. Let me get you tapped in right quick. Make sure they can hear you. Make sure the people can hear you. We working out the kinks, y'all. We working out the kinks. Praise Jesus for the kinks. Oh, he got the fancy shirt. He fancy. Look at that. Look at this dude. I'm trying to be like him when I grow up. I don't know. Let me see. There we go. All right. Zay, you say something? You want to say something? You want to say something? No, you want to say anything? How about now? You want to say something? No?
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
Yes, I can hear you. See, this is why we gotta work out the kinks, y'all. That's why we gotta work out the kinks, you know.
Right.
Let me put him in. Don't want to show myself.
I got a fancy shirt on.
So, man, talk to us, man, about like you got that fancy shirt on in that picture though. Man, talk to us about like Cleveland rap, because that was the topic. And you
rap?
Yeah, you've been from Cleveland your whole life, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, talk to us about Cleveland rap, man. Does it have its own sound?
I mean, I guess in a way it does, kind of like what you were saying before, in that it's a bunch of different sounds compiled together that have already existed. So we've taken, at least from what I know, I mean, we've taken a lot of different inspirations from a whole bunch of other different places and combined them together to create our own sound. So it's kind of a strange melting pot of a bunch of different regions, I guess is what you could call it.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's dope. I think it's cool. Personally, I always have been the type of person I'm like, you know, I would love to see Cleveland just create our own sound. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? Because you think about all these other places that have very distinct sounds. It's just like, you know, that was something that was specific to their area, their spot, their region. So it's just like, you know, it'd be nice to have, you know, our own, like, this is just a Cleveland thing. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that what we have now is bad, but I just think it'd be dope to have, you know, our own sound as well.
So you don't think there ever was a Cleveland sound?
I mean, as far as what I've heard, I mean, but that's just my limited years, I guess. You know, I ain't been around that long, so. But I mean, I don't really think there was like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really think there was like ever like just a Cleveland sound that was just like popping like that. At least, like I said, as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong, so let me know if I'm wrong. But that's just personal.
Hey, I can't let you know if you're wrong because I ain't from here for real. You know, I only know what I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I only know what I know. So I mean, and also I mean, it is to say like I wasn't super deep into hip hop when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like at least regional hip hop. I was more like I listened to a lot of Christian hip hop and all that. And most of Christian hip hop at the time was either heavy New York sound with the boom bap, conscious rap, or either heavy dirty South type, you know what I'm saying, crunk beats.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I grew up listening to as far as like my younger years. So I wasn't super tapped into Cleveland rap when I was younger. I'm just starting to now in the last couple of years kind of see what the scene is looking like now. I will say one sound that I think is becoming more prevalent is I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's Detroit. It's like that Detroit sound with that T Grizzly sound. That's real. I've heard
Detroit
that a lot
drill.
real heavy in the city. Yeah. So that's something I've heard real heavy in the city. But yeah, I mean, going back as far as I can remember, I don't really feel like there's ever been specific like this is what Cleveland sounds like. Cleveland usually sounds like a compilation of everybody else, which I think there's also value in that too, of being able to harness a bunch of different things and kind of mesh it together to create.
Yeah, but then you're not your own. Like you.
You said what?
You're not your own.
And that's why I say I would still like to have a Cleveland sound. But I mean, it's kind of hard.
So would you?
About this, like, go ahead.
I was gonna say somebody said yes you are. So I beg to differ, but
I just said yes you are what?
Somebody said that means you do have a sound.
I mean, in a way, yeah, because you've I'll say this, we've taken everybody else's sound and meshed them together enough to create, I guess, a specific sound, but it's still like it's very clear that it's not something that we just did here in Cleveland.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you go to Atlanta, like you hear stuff that's very clear, like this originated right here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even like we were just talking about Detroit, like you go, like there's plenty of rappers in Detroit that have that T Grizzly type sound, right?
Yeah.
You go to Cleveland, like here in Cleveland, like you can either you can tell where somebody's pulling from. You know what I mean? You can tell that somebody's pulling from, you know, the boom bap sound, which is not as heavy around here. I don't think as much. But you could tell somebody pulling from the Atlanta sound, or pulling from the Detroit sound, or pulling from whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could tell pretty clearly to me, at least, that what they're pulling from.
It's still, I guess, in a way, would be yes their own sound
and creating Cleveland sound in itself. However, I just, you know, it's just one of those things, one of my own things where I'm just like, I would like for us to create something totally different from every other region that is very clear, like, no, this is what Cleveland sound like. You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. No, that definitely makes sense. Just especially with you being from here, you know, wanting that sound is not bad. So yeah, I definitely would. I know Pittsburgh, you know, shout out to the 412. We got our own sound, but technically y'all do got your own sound though. I ain't, you know, like don't sleep, cause I mean somebody just sent in the chat. It was like, why do a lot of rappers blow up after they leave Cleveland? They put Chip, MGK, Bone, etc., etc. And I think one thing that I really want to talk about in that specifically is, man, like there are these rappers that blow up, but if we talk about Bone, and they put Bone in there specifically. If we talk about Bone Thugs and Harmony, they had their own sound. Like when they came out, who was really doing Bone, like doing that the way Bone was doing their sound?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I don't. So here's what I'll say. So yes, they had their own sound.
I think of it like this. When you're talking about a regional sound, though, like in terms of just Cleveland, the city has its own sound. Like that's not something that was followed after them though. Like nobody's ever reproduced that. You get what I'm saying? So yes, Bone Thugs and Harmony definitely had their own sound, and I really honestly haven't heard anybody reproduce that in any way that I'm like, man, that remind me of, you know, so and so. So, but in terms of like having the city having a whole city sound like something, like they had their sound, but it was just like that was Bone Thugs and Harmony. It wasn't like didn't really turn into like a Cleveland thing where you had more artists after them coming up, you know what I'm saying, creating sounds that were similar to that, or you could tell that they were pulling inspiration from that.
You know, you could argue that though, right?
You said what?
You know, you could argue that.
Hit me.
So, you know, I mean, Cleveland been on this auto-tune wave, and technically that's melodic. And if you go back to Bone, they was doing melodic rap singing. So
okay, I mean, yes, but you know what I'm saying in terms of like, I guess I get what you're saying. So yeah, there's a technical argument for that, in that yes, there was just the melodic, but that's even under the umbrella of melodic hip hop. There are so many different there's so many different places you could go with melodic hip hop.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You could go a Bone Thugs and Harmony route with melodic hip hop. You could go a more R&B route with melodic hip hop. You could go a more Travis Scott sound with melodic hip hop. There's so many different ways that you could take that. You could go with a Future sound. So now, just in that, I've named like 4 different cities now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's hard to just say, well, they did the melodic thing and other people do the melodic. So to me, at least, this is how my brain works. It's hard to just be like, well, they did the melodic thing and other people including the melodic thing, so that's our sound. Yeah. Not quite, because there's a bunch of different regions using melodic hip hop in their own specific way.
Right.
I mean, we can definitely say Travis Scott and Future don't sound alike.
I mean, they don't. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like so, or what am I about to say? T-Pain. Like T-Pain don't sound like none of the other two I just mentioned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so. Yeah. You know, I mean, so it's you can definitely make the argument for they use melodic hip hop, and so that's kind of the wave now.
Yeah.
But even then, with that's the wave for everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody's using that. I use it. So you know what I mean? Like
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's like that's a wave for everybody now. So it's hard to just be like, well, that was something that they founded here in the city and it pushed off from there.
Right.
But
I think I was just gonna say, man, just going back to the question itself, man. It's like switching back, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for rocking with us, man. If you on, we got a few more minutes left, and if you want to tap in, join the conversation. We just gonna talk for a little bit longer, and then I got some announcements to make for the upcoming shows. But we got why do a lot of rappers blow up after they leave Cleveland? There are I have a person this hits my heart personally, because specifically I think it's because of the scene itself.
Say it again.
The scene itself. Yeah. I think a lot of rappers don't feel like they have the support they need to do what they need to do here. However, I don't believe that that's true. I believe that they have the mentality that they don't have the support, which creates them makes them not get the support. They create this own stigma about them, about a city, and then the stigma is then put on the city. It's like, oh, well, I mean, Cleveland don't rock with me, so I ain't about to rock with them. And then Cleveland really doesn't rock with you. But like, I've seen so much support from people that I've rocked with. Like, if I connect with people, like, Cleveland actually has a support system. It's just you have to know. You got to be open to receive it, and a lot of people aren't, especially artists. Like they feel like if you're not supporting me the way that I want you to support me, then you're not supporting me, and that's not the way to be. People are going to support you the way that they need to, and the way that they want to. It's just you have to know how to. You got to know how to receive the support. So that's what I will say about that. So they don't feel like they have it, but I feel like. Also, at the same sense, out of the same tone, and I might contradict myself here a little bit, there is a bigger support system in other cities.
Absolutely.
I think about Atlanta. You know, we talk about Atlanta a lot. We talk about LA a lot. Like Atlanta, if you hear an artist on the radio, they're not just on the radio in Atlanta. They're on the radio across the country 9 times out of 10. If an artist is broken, if they break an artist in Atlanta, then that artist is broken across the country 9 times out of 10. Same, and in Cleveland, if we break an artist in Cleveland, it stays in Cleveland.
True.
Because it's the same thing for the radios. It's also, and producers. It, like, people are not, like, there is not the want to create something here, you know. I can even talk about CHH, which a whole nother, we might talk about that when I have my other friend, my other people on from CHH. And who knows, you know, they might talk about it tonight. But shout out to Focus. They'll be on at 8:30, which I need to start wrapping up. I know this is my channel and I can do what I want, but I want to be very, very I want to be honorable to the time frames that I give people, and definitely tune into their show. It's definitely gonna be a dope show. They got an artist from LA tapping in, super dope artist Bree. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like when they leave, they get the bigger support, and then that feeds the ego to say, oh, well, yeah, Cleveland really don't support because LA or Atlanta support like this, or New York support like this.
Oh, question.
Yep.
Just pushback, right?
Uh-oh.
Not say I believe it, just wondering. So is it that because if this is a consistent thing of Cleveland artists getting out of Cleveland and then blowing up when to get out of Cleveland, is that a wrong observation to have? Because now as soon as I get out of Cleveland, I automatically just received a whole bunch of support that I wasn't getting in my own city.
No,
so
because
I'm saying, think of it from the artist perspective of I'm rocking in Cleveland, I made my music, I made this stuff for Cleveland, I want to have Cleveland rally around me, right? Which there's a whole nother side to that I may get to if we got time on it. But I'm trying to make music. I created my music for the city. I wanted the city to support me. It didn't quite go as well, right? But then I get an opportunity outside the city, and I take that opportunity outside the city, and then all of a sudden it's like explosion, boom, I blow up outside of the city. So now my mind, like, where else would my mind go other than, I mean, I got the one opportunity out here, and the opportunity that I had in the city didn't really amount to this. So now I guess there's 2 ways you can look at that. One way you can look at that is that all of those smaller opportunities within the city help to build you up to where you are to be able to get noticed outside of the city. There's one way that you can look at it that way. But then also, I think when you have, and not trying to go on anybody younger because I'm not that old, but like when you have younger minds typically, as far as our younger generation, we are very individualistic in that we just kind of automatically assume people ain't rocking with us if we don't see it how we see, you know what I'm saying, how we think we should see it, like you said. So I think a lot of times from the artist perspective, especially somebody who's younger, if I don't blow in Cleveland, but then all of a sudden I get this first couple opportunities outside of Cleveland and I blow, then my first mindset is, Cleveland wasn't really rocking me like that. Right. So do you think that's Do you think that's actually legit, or do you think that's back to what you said, like perception?
I still think it's a perception thing.
Okay, explain.
I think it's a perception thing because where there may not be a lot of the support may not be the same. The support may not be the same in the way it looks, but it may be the same in intent. It could be the same in intensity.
Intensity, you said?
Intensity, yes.
Okay.
So if I have a city where everything they do is rap and their focus is rap, then a lot of times you're going to see rap as that support system. However, if you look at a city that is not fully focused on rap, but they have a small center of rap supporters, look at that. You have to look at that. You know, we talked about earlier in the show, niche. You have to look at that and how many of those people actually support you. If those people rock with you, if those people support you, that fan base, that amount of people, that thing has the potential to grow if you pour into that. I'm not saying don't go out. I'm not saying don't pour out with other people. I'm just saying pour into what you have here. Pour into your home, and then understand that, you know, now you have a home base that are super fans that can now also help push you outside of where you just are. There's so many ways that people can really push like that, man. I could go for days. I'm super excited for this show because I can talk about production. Definitely. We got a few more minutes. Shout out to Isaiah. I see DJ Focus was tuned in. I don't know if you still are. His show is coming up at 8:30 with Bree. Make sure you check that out. That's going to be super dope show. I'm excited to watch that. Tap in. I might even jump into the conversation a little bit. We will see. We got the Zoom link in if there's any more questions. Somebody said, does Miami have a unique sound? Yes, it's the bass. That's all I need to say. They have a certain sound when it comes to the bass, and it bounces. It's an East Coast bounce, and it's an East Coast bounce like I've never heard before. I have never heard an East Coast bounce like Miami bass. Okay, so yeah, Miami does have a unique sound. They have their own sound. Florida in itself may have its own sound, but I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, so here we are. To the end of the show. Definitely appreciate you, Zay, for chiming into the conversation. There will be opportunity for people to join the Zoom and tap into the conversation, give your 2 cents, ask questions. At the end of the shows, I'll probably leave like 10 minutes or so for the shows. You know, we'll see. I'll play it by ear. You know, we just want to have fun. But I'm super excited because next week, if you are not hip, I need you to get hip. And I wonder if I can pull it up on the screen. Let's see. That would be super dope if I could pull it up on the screen. We have a super dope interview next week with a super dope producer. I'll pull up his Instagram. We tapped in at 7 p.m. every week. Don't you miss it, I promise. We are trying to bring you content. You know how I rock. I'm always trying to bring y'all content. I'm always trying to bring y'all collaborations, man. Super dope. Let me see if I can do this. Let's add a screen. But we got interviews coming up. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But as I'm pulling this up, I want to tell you about an opportunity coming up. I'm putting together an executive producing an album. What does this mean for producers? What does this mean for artists? I'm handpicking artists to be on this album. But I'm also taking producers to submit your beats. Please submit them. Send them in. I want to hear your work, so that we can have some dope content on the project. There's gonna be some dope artists that tap in. I'll have some dope artists that I work with, but I want your beats to be heard. And a lot of times we don't get that opportunity a lot of times. to have your beats heard, to have people tap in. I'm not the biggest person. I'm not no crazy executive. I'm not a person that has a lot of networks, but I have a platform, and I want to share with people that are doing something, that actually have good work. So my platform is used for other people, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. It don't work. If y'all can't see what I'm talking about, well, you can't really see because you can't see my screen. But apparently I can't do it the way I want to do it, so now I got to show y'all my crazy screen. I don't know what that sound was. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, y'all. I'm just trying to make sure I show y'all what I need to show y'all. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, I don't know if y'all are able to see my screen, but next week, 7 p.m., we got the homie TNT tuning in. He gonna be talking. He got a couple of records. You see his last record, he just got placed. He got a record with Jackboy. Maybe I can't see because I didn't transition over to the screen I needed to transition to. Good job, Z. You know, that's what you do, right? You don't do things the right way. Huh? Yeah, no, that's what we doing. We working out the kinks. That's what we gonna say we doing. You know. Next week, I promise y'all, we'll have it in a better. It'll be better. Okay, so now I can show y'all. Now you should be able to see TNT. It's gonna be tapped in. Shout out to the homie TNT. He decided to join in with us next week at 7. If you have questions, definitely tap in with his site and his Instagram. Be ready. He's gonna be dropping some gems. I'm super excited. It's our first interview. As you see, like I said, he dropped the record with Jackboy. He got 7 records on there. He's produced for Rod Wave. He's produced for NLE Choppa. He's produced for Polo G. All the cats that y'all listen to now. I don't even know how to say boy's name. Youngin Ace. Like, the names nowadays, bro. The names. I'm confused, man. Help me understand, man.
Now, personally, this is just my own personal opinion. Anybody got to take this as advice. However, I will say, I get trying to be creative and find ways that people actually like, you know,
Hey, I mean that's your world. We just living in it. But he got records with Young Boy. All of the, like, this is the wave he got, and he has a lot on YouTube. His YouTube channel is definitely blowing up. So we locked in with bro next week, 7 p.m. We're tapped into the album. We're in album mode, working on production. I just got some emails today with some beat selections, and it's super dope. So I'm excited for that. Man, definitely stay tapped in. Remember, 7 p.m. next week. If you want to get updates, we're going to be sending out text messages. Might even do some giveaways and some stuff like that. Make sure you tap in. Text the THA producer spot to all one word to 31996 to get your updates and all that fun stuff, man. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. If there's no more questions, Zay, you got anything you want to say since you on here, bro?
No, I just appreciate you letting me on. You know, I enjoy talking about music, so
yeah. Yeah, I always drop the link, and I'm trying to build it up so that we can get some mods in. I'll definitely be dropping this on YouTube. Once YouTube allows me to go live, I'll be able to drop it live, and people will be able to watch it on YouTube. But until then, you know, we just here, and this is where we at. Shout out to Focus. You know, it's definitely long overdue. Shout out to his show. It starts at 15 minutes. Tap in, man. Tap in. Love y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all. Always, always, always. Y'all know the deal. Collaborate, because collaboration thrives creativity. And remember to create, because you're created by the creator.